The Italian Wine Podcast is the community-driven platform for Italian wine geeks around the world. Support the show by donating at italianwinepodcast.com. Donate €5 or more and we'll send you a copy of our latest book, My Italian Grape Geek Journal, absolutely free. To get your free copy of My Italian Grape Geek Journal, click support us at italianwinepodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. Grazie mille. Welcome to the Italian Grape Geek podcast. Join us as we explore personal stories of travel and tasting with Italy's must-know grape varietals. Chart your own course with My Italian Grape Geek Journal, your personal tasting companion to accompany the series. Available now on Amazon. With thanks to Colangelo and Partners for their generous support with this project.
Hi, my name is Brie Dema. I'm proud to be a Vinitaly International Wine Academy Italian Wine Ambassador. I've also studied with the WSET and hold my diploma. I'm an advanced sommelier with the Court of Master Sommeliers as well. Wine is both my passion and my career. I work with the Pearl Hospitality Group in Ontario, Canada, assisting in creating world-class wine and beverage programs for their many properties. I am also a wine educator, and I like to write about wine for Quench, a multifaceted wine and culture magazine and website. Okay, so today I'd like to talk to you about several important Italian wine grapes, those that I had the pleasure of writing about in the publication Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0, the course textbook that accompanies the Vinitaly International Academy's Italian Wine Ambassador and Expert certifications. So the first grape on my list today is the grape Nebbiolo Rosé. In terms of its origin and the location where you can find it, it is found in the north of Italy in Piedmont, Lombardy, and Val d'Aosta. In the early 2000s, it was shown to be a distinct variety from Nebbiolo, not a biotype as previously assumed. It makes sense to discuss it in relation to Nebbiolo since it has this long-standing connection, and it does share a first-degree genetic relationship with Nebbiolo. Due to its characteristics, which I will touch on shortly, it has been uprooted in the vineyards of Barolo and Barbaresco specifically in favor of Nebbiolo's Lampia and Miche, which many will know are Nebbiolo's main biotypes. Many producers cite the character in the finished wine made from Nebbiolo Rosé as the main reason for uprooting it, rather than it being difficult to grow. In terms of the characteristics in the vineyard, Nebbiolo Rosé differs from Nebbiolo in several ways. It ripens earlier, and for that reason has the nickname Nebbiolo Matinee. Matinee refers to the morning, as in it is an early riser. It is very vigorous. It has a larger leaf and a more compact bunch with pale red, almost pink berries. It's not as susceptible to spring weather challenges, such as Millerandrage or coulure, and it is also generally more drought resistant than Nebbiolo grape. In terms of the characteristics in the glass, Nebbiolo Rosé gives a wine that is pale ruby in color. On the nose, it's very aromatic with aromas and flavors of tart red fruits like cherry, pungent spice, and very elevated floral tones like rose and violet. On the palate, it has less acidity and tannin, it gives less structure, and is lighter bodied than Nebbiolo. Often, it's used sparingly as a blending component with Nebbiolo, adding perfume and elegance to the wine. In terms of its significance, I think due to this historic unpopularity of giving a paler, lighter wine compared to Nebbiolo, it will likely remain as a minor blending companion in the wines of Barolo and Barbaresco. Maybe fashion and climate change might alter that fate, as consumers may shift to perfume and elegance, and growers might want to work with more drought-resistant grapes in the future. We shall see, only time will tell. There is one producer, Elvio Cogno, who does hang their hat on Nebbiolo Rosé, as they proudly bottle 100% monovarietal example, which is their Vigna Elena bottling. Nebbiolo Rosé also sees more plantings in areas like the warmest, driest sites of Valtellina, and some producers like Marchese di Greze from Barbaresco do include a more significant proportion in their wines. In terms of my personal connection with the grape, I have been fortunate to taste several vintages of the Vigna Elena Barolo, which comes from a small plot in the Ravara Cru. It's a beautiful wine. It's pale. It has a generous flavor profile and a very inviting nose. Outside of that, I've experienced it in blends, such as Marchese di Greze's Barbaresco. I've encountered it in this way, both in my home market of Ontario, Canada, as well as through tastings and experiences with Vinitaly. I think I found it quite interesting when I was reading about the grape that it really was only recently discovered to be its own variety rather than a biotype of Nebbiolo, and I wonder if it will gain popularity in the future in Italy or elsewhere. To my knowledge, I don't believe anybody internationally is working with the grape at this time. For the benchmark producers that you should be seeking out, as I mentioned, Elvio Conio and Marchese di Greze, both the Vigna Elena Barolo and Marchese di Greze's Barbaresco Normale bottlings have beautiful floral noses that I just love. When you think about the grape in terms of the dinner table, there are several Piedmontese dishes and ingredients that come to mind. One being the rich pasta dish, tajarin, a pasta made with a significant proportion of egg yolk and to flour. It's often served in a brown butter or similarly rich sauce. If you're feeling indulgent, you can shave some local white truffles on this and you'll have a match made in heaven. Hi there, it's Brie here. I'm back to talk to you about another grape. This time we're going to head south and we'll be talking about the grape Negro Amaro. So it is a grape found, as I said, in southern Italy, mostly in Puglia, but you can also find it in Campania and Basilicata. Storytelling alludes to it having Greek origins. It's not necessarily proven, though. Nonetheless, it bears a very long history with the Puglia area. They are very much intertwined. This history is why Negro Amaro is enshrined in the many dioceses of Puglia, such as Salice Salento, Lizano, Copertino, Squinzano, and Livrano. In terms of the characteristics in the vineyard, Negro Amaro is known to be quite productive. We might say it's on the easier side in terms of viticulture. It can manage well in many different soils, but it does excel when it's grown in calcareous clay. It is fairly disease and drought resistant as well. One feature that might help you recognize it in the vineyard is that it has dark, almost blue-black berries. The skins have remarkably high levels of polyphenols, one of which is resveratrol, which many know is touted as having antioxidant health benefits. In terms of the characteristics of Negro Amaro in the glass, I'd say that the trade-off to its ease in the vineyard is that if it's not managed properly, it can produce simple and rustic wines. But when we find it at its best as a red table wine, it's medium to deep ruby, has aromas and flavors of black cherry, plum, and tobacco, with moderate to high acidity and generous tannins and alcohol. It is often, however, made as a rosado wine. Here it has a deep pink hue, is intense in flavor with vibrant red cherry, strawberry, blood orange, and herbal notes. It is not the typical pale rosé style that I find many consumers in my market gravitate towards, but it's a style that I love, and I hope it gains popularity outside of its home region. Malvasia Nera or Uva de Troya are typically used as its minority blending partners, the former being very aromatic and the latter quite vibrant and uplifting. In terms of my personal connection to the grape, for the red table versions, I've had many, mostly from the Salice Salento DOC. They are very pleasant wines overall, wines that I would prefer to enjoy in their relative youth in order to capture their kind of boisterous fruit flavors. I'm also very, very fond of the rosado wines, as I said, specifically the drier ones, though. The sweet versions do tend to have slightly masked flavors, in my opinion. We have several producers available in our market for both red and rosado, but I would still say that it is a somewhat underrepresented grape in the Canadian market. When I was learning about the grape, I found it interesting to learn that it was one of the grapes responsible for the wines that would be shipped from the south, from Puglia, to regions in the north in order to strengthen some lighter styles of wine. This practice is perhaps in the not so distant past, actually. For benchmark producers of Negro Amaro, we can include Leon de Castris, their claim to fame being that they were the first Italian winery to commercially sell an Italian rosado. This is recorded all the way back in 1943. Worth seeking out are Agricola Cosimo Torino, Rosa de Golfo, and Agricola Vallone, all from Puglia. For ways to enjoy Negro Amaro at the dinner table, for the rosado versions, you can try it with burrata, which is a local soft cheese. It's made from mozzarella and cream. The richness of the cheese would really benefit from being cut with the freshness of the rosado wine. You can also try the rosado with polpetta di ricotta, which is a fluffy fried ball made from bread, ricotta, and parmesan that's typically served hot as a snack. For the red Negro Amaro, you can pair it with orecchiette pasta or with the local street food panzerotti, which is essentially a pizza that is folded into a pocket and usually fried.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, cin cin.